The Indiana Memorial Union. Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good to see you.
Karibu, Indiana.
Asante. Thank you. And I was told you are a big guy.
Oh, please. Thank you very much for creating the time.
Thank you so
today.
much. So this is the IMU.
Yes, this is the Indiana Memorial Union.
Indiana Memorial Union.
Yes.
And this is going to be the venue for a conference.
Yes, this is going to be the venue for the 11th Annual Indiana University Conference on Africa.
Wow.
Yes.
A conference on Africa?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. That's why I came, because I was told it's one of the major events in this university, and it showcases studies by African scholars from the entire North American countries, the US particularly.
Yes. And the interesting bit is that this is organized by a student association, which is the Graduate Students in African Studies Association, which brings together scholars, students, and even professors who are doing research in Africa or even interested in knowing more about Africa.
Totally organized by students?
Yes, fully organized by students with the support of faculty and staff. So we come up with the idea, we do all the running around. It's just a matter of the department rubber stamping all the ideas and the putting together. Yes. And
you have been, this organization started a few months ago. I mean, in terms of the conference.
Yes, we started planning the conference sometime in August, and just did a call for proposals both in Africa and here in the US. And I'm actually excited to share that we are having representation of over 14 states, students from different universities as well as professors, and about 8 universities from Africa, different countries in Africa.
There are people coming from Africa?
Yes. Yeah, we are lucky to be hosting people from Africa this time. Of course, there are challenges here and there, but we're happy to actually share with you that we have some who have their visas approved, and they will be joining us for the conference in person.
Really?
Yes.
Even in this new regime where people think
Even in this new regime, we have been so lucky, and I want to believe they do support scholarly work.
Yes, they do.
And this is a platform where we allow that intellectual collaborations and ideas to be shared. So our mission is to provide that platform for people to showcase their different ideas, their different research, in effort to forge Africa forward, and even as it continues to expand in terms of collaborating with the rest of the world globally. Yes.
Oh my goodness. This is a conference organized entirely by students. And we are talking to Trizah Ombewa. She's actually the president of the Graduate Students of African Studies Association.
Yes, yes. I'm currently the serving president of the Graduate Students in African Association. And I'm just excited to be heading this ship.
You say you're excited. I don't think you're having full nights of sleep, because it's a lot of work.
Yes. I must say this has been one of a big learning opportunity in terms of taking up leadership roles. And one of the things that I've learned is persistence. You'll get a lot of rejection. You'll get a lot of, no, we are not collaborating with you. But at the same time, there are people who have their arms open, ready to receive you, ready to work with you. And that has been the rope that I've been hanging on to. At the same time, sleepless nights are there, trying to ensure meals are provided for our guests, trying to ensure that people are comfortable for the 2 days that they'll be here with us. Yeah.
You can't say no to a lawyer. She's actually a trained lawyer. She was admitted to the bar in Kenya. Which year was it?
That was in 2023.
So we are talking to Trizah Ombewa. Actually, she's an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. She's also a master's student in?
I'm currently a master's student in Media Arts and Science. This is my last and final semester. And
you have only a few weeks or months to go?
Yes, about a month to go to the commencement. And I'm also proud to share that I'll be going on with a journey to hopefully full doctorates.
You mean you got an admission to?
Yes, yeah. They say when you're a good student, someone will see it somewhere. And I'm proud to share that my department has given me an offer to proceed with my PhD.
The Department of?
Media Arts and Science.
Media Arts and Science.
Yes.
Oh, we don't make this stuff up, guys. This is Diaspora Scholars TV. Today, the story of Trizah Ombewa. This is just part of her story. We are here to focus on the conference. And you know what? You wanted a lawyer. Here she is.
Yes.
You said which year were you admitted to the bar?
2023.
2023?
Yes.
I'll ask you later. I don't know why these guys call themselves learned friends.
We are very learned. It takes a lot to be a wakili. It takes a lot to be a wakili. And even right now, as I'm in media school, my focus is matters, media, law, and policy.
Could you share a little bit of the work you are doing? What research do you focus on? I mean, because this is a great opportunity, not only about the conference, but to share about your work as well, because somebody has already seen that it's worth, going further. Now you have, been admitted for a PhD program.
Yeah. So just to give you a backstory, I've studied law in Kenya and got an opportunity to work with a human rights organization.
Oh, really?
Which my focus was working a lot with the community. And one of the things that I really learned was there's a gap in terms of knowledge.
Yes.
Basic knowledge about legal matters, which often tends to be a barrier in terms of accessing justice. And that is what led me to actually come to media school. Because we live in a digital era where media is an everyday affair.
It is.
So how do we maximize and leverage media in terms of empowering people with information? So my focus this year in terms of my thesis, I'm currently writing on trying to understand how media use is related to legal literacy. Is there a relationship, and is there a way that you can maximize media in terms of empowering people in regard to legal literacy? So my focus this year is in terms of matter succession and inheritance in Kenya, which seems to be...
That is a big problem, not only in Kenya, but Africa.
Africa at large. But specifically for my thesis, you understand in terms of collecting data. This time I'm focusing on Siaya County and Kakamega, which you understand the cultural aspects and all that inform a lot about succession and inheritance. And I must say Kenya has made a lot of progress in terms of providing laws that protects widows and orphan children, but there's still a gap. The problem is still there. So how do I ensure that communities are actually aware of this information, that they understand that there are laws actually protecting them? So my focus is to make sure...
She's not going to stop talking.
Yes. Is to make sure we have the information out there.
You're extremely passionate about it.
Very
passionate. I can see it in your face.
Yeah, I have over 5 years experience working with the community.
Yes.
I've worked with young teenage mothers, I've worked with widows, I've worked with a lot of public interest issues, and that is where this passion is coming from.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
You
say there is actually a gap, because you are right, because many times simple law to many members of the public, really they really don't really get it.
Yeah.
And when they see the news items on the media, they're highly summarized, skewed, and sometimes actually creating more injustice when they are presented in the media.
And just to give you a snippet of my data, which I'm currently analyzing, out of my 1,000 participants, 164 got the 6 knowledge. You had 1,000 participants? Yes. I had 1,000 respondents for my data collection. 500 from Siaya County and 500 from
Those are a very high sample number.
Yes. And the idea was to get a clear picture of general knowledge levels in both of the counties. And the interesting thing is only 164 got all the 6 knowledge questions that we asked. You
mean like 16 or so percent?
Yes. 16.4% to be exact.
That's a low number.
Yeah, it's a low number. And specifically for questions that touch on how do we transfer land once someone is dead and there's no will. People don't know about that. Yeah. And most of the time it looks like a small issue, but there are children and generational problems that come with that. The children who don't get their fees paid, while their parents or their fathers or mothers are doing so well, but because they're selfish family members here and there, or sometimes they don't even know that there is property somewhere that their deceased owned that they need to use to make it through their day-to-day lives, or fill in the gap of the person who was providing before death. And I think you've had the general information in terms of the asset recovery, something. There's a lot of property that's just left somewhere in the air. Why? The lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge. And this is Trizah Ombewa, and we are watching Diaspora Scholars TV.
Yes.
She's articulate. She's fluent. She's a trailblazer of some sort. How do you even do research in the US, but your studies in Africa? We'll find out, and that's why you need to attend this conference that will be done at the IMU. We are at Indiana University, Bloomington, and this conference is entirely organized by a student or students in general, and Trizah Ombewa is the president doing all the legwork, indeed even facilitating people to get visas all the way from Africa to come to the US for this conference. You don't want to miss this conference, right?
Yes. You don't want to miss. See you there on 28th and 29th of March.
28th, 29th of March.
Yes, 2025.
2025.
Yes.
Everybody comes on here.
Karibu, Indiana. Let us have intellectual conversations and connect.
Plus, free legal advice.
Free legal advice. Come. I will make sure to connect you to the necessary resources if I'm not able to answer any of the questions.
This is just part one of this show, the story about the conference, but we are getting snippets about the life of Trizah Ombewa, an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. She's just graduating in the next 2 months with a master's in media arts and sciences, and she's going on to do PhD.
Yes.
Look at her.
Yes.
She's also a mother. We'll talk about that in the second part of this show.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
You should go back to the bar. Just why can't you